What are some of the most common ailments that people come to you with that they want to know more through the medical astrology?
Judith, you go.
Well, usually people contact me often, or their doctor does, and I like to work. I always take a waiver. I never play doctor, and I often work with a doctor who's asked for the reading. Believe it or not, there are many doctors who some of them are quite old, some of them are young, that absolutely accept this system and find it useful. And people will contact me when they have a mystery. They cannot figure out something. And that's one very common, and often it's a very difficult, extremely difficult case. But the other is for surgery dates and medical procedure dates that are, of course, voluntary. They aren't having to go in tomorrow. I've had so many interesting. I had one person contact me because she could choose the day for her cesarean section.
Oh, wow.
They had to get it out early because some issue. I think it was late. I think it was getting too late. And she had 4 days she could choose from. And lo and behold, so I got the parents' charts. And lo and behold, if they picked this one day, the baby would be at odds with the parents. Just be a pain in the ass to the parents. And then if they picked the other day, the baby would be very harmonious with the parents and have a much softer chart. So I said, well, here's your choices. And people, of course, say, well, what about conception? Well, yes, we know the baby's conceived way back, but we also know about epigenes. And genetics are turned on and off. They know this now. There's even a little fish that can change gender as needed. Would that be convenient? Anyway, and, for the lovelorn. So this little fish. So, I've discovered for years that certain charts will tend to the tallness or the roundness or the blondness or the dark end of their own gene pool, and you can just predict it. And so the moment of birth absolutely influences character and everything else. Astrologers have been empirically observing this for 3,000 years now. Yeah, we know it works. We don't know how it works. Lots of good theories, but it does work. And so I thought that was a very good use for helping people get pregnant. I always say I'm the proud father of many.
Yeah, I love doing fertility. I think we do it a little bit differently, but a lot of the same ideas. And people looking at fertility is a thing people come to me for as well. I try to, it sounds a little bit funny, I try to avoid surgery charts lately. I keep passing them on, whether it's to you or to people that you teach or some other friends of mine that are do more electional. I've kind of avoided electional over the last year. But what people come to me for is, again, very similar to you, Judith, mysteries. I've got this going on and no one can figure out why. And it's one of the beautiful, looking at the natal charts, like looking at a treasure map of why something's happening. Or even if you can't completely pinpoint it, you can see the influences or the system that maybe is under stress that they need to then investigate. And I love that, looking for that root cause of what's happening. I get a lot of people, what else do I get a lot of people coming for? A lot of immune system and nervous system stuff. It's, I think, what it's showing up for me a lot more lately. And because I'm a nutritionist, I also get a lot of people working on weight loss and just general health and eating. And I think it's fun when sometimes people book in and I get them to fill out, I've got my waiver and I get them to fill out a little bit of medical history. And I love when they're just coming for curiosity. And you can just kind of have a wander around their chart and their ailments. But one of the things I don't do is I won't predict health ailments. I get really upset when I hear people have been, and I know Judith and I have had this conversation, people show up and you're like having to unwind all this negativity they've been told by another practitioner or another astrologer. They were told, this transit could be cancer. This transit could be, a really big illness of your child. And it's like, you can't, in my opinion, you can't predict that. You can't predict what a transit's going to be. Yeah, you can see you can see, the areas it's going to influence, but you don't know if the transit's going to be physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. And unfortunately, I spend some of my time these days convincing people that they're not going to get cancer with an upcoming transit. So ethics and medical astrology is a really big, Judith and I have talked about this. We're very, you have to be very cautious and very aware of what you're telling people because they hold on to it.
Yeah, do not frighten the client and be very careful of the words. I get these terrified clients, and some astrologers told them this. And I want to say I'm taking no new medical astrology clients this year. I'm overwhelmed running the academy and with my regulars. So send them to Kira. If you want.
Unless it's electional.
No surgery dates. I do know I've trained 2 people to do professional quality surgery dating. So I do have those names, my 2 apprentices. They're very, very good. And that is the hardest skill in astrology.
It is.
You can't just spin it off of a computer program. Absolutely not. It's very, very difficult. Takes a lot of work.